Hi, this is Lisa Guthrie at 10507 at Aurora Avenue North, Seattle, Washington, 903, and I'm in Unit 3. And the officer from the West Precinct is here, and also there is a security guard from the town in Seattle, and there are more people here than that as well. And it's a black security guard legally as well. If they break through, well, if they're waving wreck, shot either way, including if they're waving any weapons around. And one of the threats over and over has been lately down this room wall that accessing to harass me, and they've been throwing and down the pipe, and they walk down the wall and have try to force to live with a bunch of creep, and they're acting like it's legal. It's actually not legal. And the thing is, bums are flagrantly ignoring laws of planning and zoning. So I will be calling zoning, and the message is out here tonight. This morning, excuse me, and one of their sons might be here, like Officer Bobby's son. I think it is. Then, of course, that black guy downtown. He's a man. That is a I don't think he was Jewish first. I think it's anyway. He is in their of it, along with officers skulking around in the wall, telling. Oh, and he's playing Sue-face. Shut the fuck up, you ugly bitch. And so they're not in any legal capacity at all. They're not acting. Bobby acting out his satanic rituals inside the wall, against a wall downtown. Because I had evidently offended his gay friends, the security guard from the Pike Place Market. And they work for the Pike Place Market Preservation and Development Authority. And so, by the way, so don't be offended if you're Jewish, because I'm talking about a Jewish person, supposedly. It's a Messianic Jew, that's different. They're Christians. In some ways, they offend some Jews, but it's a Christian, I believe, that's in touch with the Judaism. But in this case, I think he's just a Satanist. They are. Because a lot of black Nazis, they yap about church, and then they talk about killing whites. So, you do the math. So you've got some here. There was a whore in the wall with them, and whores earlier that we're trying to do. And remember, Officer Bobby is in. I've mentioned him before. He's in on disappearance or break-ins where they actually will come to floorboard or the wall or a ceiling, or a window is lifted out or razored out. He's from the West Precinct, and he has sort of dark hair, not that light of a complexion, and I think light eyes or dark eyes. Dark. And he has a fun twist to his face, like a devilish leer. I guess he handsome before, but I could see that he was a Carolyn Delaney. He's in on gang inductions. He's a Satanist, and remember, they're bloods, and he likes to play with his own fecal urine and that of us and his own ejaculate, and he thinks he's doing magic when he ejaculates into somebody's food or wall, and he thinks he's cursing them. He doesn't. He's a zombie. Pretty everybody in Washington is a zombie. so late, of course, I want to go to bed for a bit. But, you know, of course, they could break in while I'm sleeping. And what I do is, like, it's called car baiting. Officer Bobby's in on that. Electronically, like maybe through the microphone, go in a cellar or even a crawl space or like a janitor's room next door like this one, and then they'll and then there's a bum. And so the retarded bums, by the way, they like us a couple whores earlier. They're playing around with chakras. I don't know what's happening. And I just cursed a dirty cop. And I just I was asleep. And they're playing, eating etheric body, and eating etheric body, and cursing you. And they're playing, blowing up your and destroys Officer Bobby's future and reveals the U.S. for. And yes, I used the N-word, but I was asleep, and I'm used to hearing it all day anyway. And by the way, they've been attacking their bodies, so they've attacked everyone in the whole U.S. basically, and themselves, and their ancestors, and every. And so Officer Bobby show himself, and he's in the janitor's room with the boss, risk management, and they said they were federal from by the way. Oh, by the way, am I recording? The fuck up, bitch. I can curse whoever the fuck I want. Sir Bob located the risk management creep in another, probably, let's see, which, I don't know which, act, located the janitor's playing shoe. So every black and see ever. Whatever you've done to me, there's a curse on black Nazis 10 times anyone else. And anyone like them who is like them, here you go. We're playing family. They're playing everybody who's in to be made of all these. Doing them. to go down illegally. So Officer Bob, and he'll try to tell you and come with one of them. And put your coat on so you won't know who you are. Or out and put boat. I think it was he and his friends. I can't remember. It's been so many threads. All of them were talking about it. Wasn't just one. So he must be connected to a boat. Well, I guess spreading like a lot of propaganda, and Officer Bobby was riding around in a car with a blonde, and he was presenting it as me and pretending we were in love. In reality, I've actually complained about he had thrown me up against an elevator because I called the prostitute after the incident, and he'd taken me down. He was mad, and also I called a prostitute. Oh, he said you were in prison then, so he's a liar. There's it's one of the LaSalle Hotel, and he's an absolute liar. And he's so crazy that he's been portraying that I have been kicked out of. These are all dirty cops, dirty security guards with a whore. They've been in, and they've probably smoked. And the security guard, he has no veracity to even doubt. And I've been in prison, fat ass. And that was about the same thing as Officer Bobby. He was going to hand me to the security LaSalle Hotel, and it's dirty security guards managed or supposedly guard. They're extorting and running the meth labs. So the dirty security guard, Officer Bobby hauled me down there to them. Rather illegal. And there was nothing to arrest, called a prostitute. And then, so he's a coward. And so what he did, took me down the elevator, and, I had been home resting, actually. And the bums downstairs were doing the gang member stuff. The building was overridden with the meth lab smell and vagrants that would come in. And I was actually resting in bed, and I'd gotten up and answered the door. And Officer Bobby said, "Did you call them a prostitute or someone a prostitute?" And so he acted like he could arrest me, and it was illegal. And I called 911, actually. That might have saved me from what he had planned. And he stuck his ugly long tongue at me. And his security, and he's a bum. Fuck off, you ugly black bitch. You're gonna fuck off. Just because you fuck Officer Bobby up the asshole, and he fucks you, it doesn't make you any kind of authority, dumbass bitch. You're just a black Nazi, ugly, inferior ass. Fuck yourself, cock. Obey anybody. I'm gonna call 911. I'm gonna have you both shot. You try to hold me as a captive, I'm gonna have you fucking shot. Who try to knock down the wall. I'll have you shot. How would you get shot? Well, I don't think you're supposed to wave your fucking guns around or talk about them or click the fucking wall. How about that here? And is pretend and I'm walking around with a punish me. He's scum operate, and the gang members love to be with black Nazi scum, especially dirty cops. Bitch, you're gonna have, you know what? Never mind. I won't even say what I'm gonna do to you if you come near me and try to have me raped. To cut my and Officer Bobby's in on that. So actually, me up, you stupid foul, you up. And so you're gonna sit ass bitch. Walk off and die. I don't give a fuck if you have a gun. Oh, and then earlier, Officer Bobby was telling me he was threatening slavery for his mother or his son too. They all think they're going to get slaves. They're not. I'll flood his fucking home, stuff something. Just because you're a cop doesn't mean you can have. Not here on any. elevator. And Gay Lover Boy, actually, I was doing that, and he had handed out of nowhere through me. And then he got a lot of pleasure out of it. The security, and so basically, he's just a how's your butt tonight, little gay man. The officer blocked girlfriend, so he's actually sexual. He's, of course, fucked the gay security in there, two of them. So So do you have their little love triangle where you watch them stick it up their ass with tool? And to complicate matters, the cop from 13 years ago is in love with Bobby. And 13 years ago, he was at a blamed about an he was running the meth lab 10, and or there are 17 in the area. Too bad I didn't have, so I'm not going to walk around with a smartphone. Oh, and by the way, and the if you're going to give up your cell phone. I think they're going to be mad. So that girlfriend of Officer must be pretty retarded. Also, you'd have to be retarded to be with who's got Carolyn DeLynn. Why don't you two act out what you like to? So, looking at a hair in the office, like somebody's got a pine saw going. Flower one. Math is clean, I don't know. Or just to be irritating. Playing, we're going to Lisa in. We're going to have to be patient and take Lisa. So the Officer Bobby included, they have a plan of entry and ambush west, and it's not really downtown Virginia. There's a security guard from the Pike Place one, and then Ross, dirty security guard, black Nazi. Sort of he's about 5'10", 5'10", 5'10". There's a able. Can eat you. Eat yourselves, Nazis. Eat yourself. Those black Nazis. There's a bum underneath the floorboards. It's black Nazi. Start aiming earlier. Am I threatening to come after him? No, I'm cursing. Hard to use. Avenue North, 91332. And there are some thugs around the apartment and room. There are thugs located in a crawl space. And part of their goal to early would be camping. And one of the of the Seattle police smoke crack, possibly injecting heroin with his pipe placement. And so, if you'd like to end the represented as me, he's driven around with her, representing her as me, but it's his girlfriend. And see, handy because that he was also able to go online these Satanists. And if you heard anybody just now, they're actually they're in an illegal area. It's supposed to be there. And so what they'd like to do is waiting car or pretend it's retard from a store and a kidnapping. Say hi, everyone. And it's about 6:25 in the morning. Members cheering you, and they're chanting about Italy. I hope it. But one swearing, I said the N word because I was being minorities. We gotta, we gotta do cops, which there's not supposed to be any. And now this is typical of the dirty cops. I've actually been. There was a guy at Tricart who started this. He was a satanic cop. I woke up. I think we'd taken the fall with Satan. Quickly, I was pulled down. We're involved. Making decrees. You will do this. You will do that. That guy. So they, like I said, the black guy who had things on the planet, and what we like to do is after they've targeted apparently, and all of the dirty that are in, like even the police department, love the tar baiting and activities screaming racism. So that's why they're in with black Nazis, and they don't care if they're black boyfriends that stick it up their butt, killing white trash. They'll be, so-called they think they'll build the end of the planet. A plot to kill everybody in the U. And the same without NATO. These people are cracked, and they're on drugs. Cracky. They're on drugs. And they're play curses, blah, 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 no matter the... let's curse black Nazis. Eradicates black Nazis. No matter what you say, you always spray yourselves. So we're starting the morning with violent threats against me. You're going to go with us. Speak up, because I want a really good interview. Threaten me and threaten me with kidnapping, and then they're going to dump semen in the water, and radiation and diseases. And yesterday would be, or this evening, polio, I think, is what they're dumping in the water today. They're calling polio a word because you realize the gang members like to use code. Use really retarded code words for something when it might be something like Ebola or something, which they've actually stated that they had Ebola in my water and smallpox, and they was radiation. And I think that really was radiation said by a dirty cop that killing ambulance. An ambulance. You have to realize the so descriptive word fed me. So I probably don't even have the right term. then I'll go through the same routine. We're talking about the bus, where, the buddies building the buddies of the dirty cleaning. Lately, the threat getting and they don't care, and their handout is the gym room, and there's a crawl space, and they'll threaten to chop. We're going to chop our way in, and we're going to you're going to be our. We're going to eat you. Say 8 people mute. They're all devil worshippers. Officer. That's what's going on. Or will erotic sort of in bed mental exercises and cursing them, which is politically they're all devil worshippers. And the thing he is embarked. He's got his gay boyfriend today. This one, so he'll be sticking it up. They also got his girlfriend. So things get complicated. I don't think she knew that he liked to stick it up with black Nazis from the Pike Place Market. Development Authority. It's Preservation and Development Authority. So they should say Place Market Preservation of, let's see, what? Satanic, security, British people and Europeans, and Irish. To me, going to do what they've done, tormenting ton of the members of perfect medical, and remember these fake and real in all of these. Oh gosh, now I have my little list ready so I don't forget it. I forget it. Of course, business, and then construction, trade, and then the list. And don't forget the order and the judicial, real, and who else should? Oh, they'll even have like postal people. Well, that's let's start with postman. Don't forget, postman can aid in fraud. The flagged and you're stalked. All you do is just retrieve the letter, and so then maybe you nice letter to the FBI, but they'll write a letter for your letter, so that's one. Or they can make sure that letter goes to a dirty cop, and he'll come out on a false 911 call. Real police that would they're standing by, including bad. Sorry. To go on, he and Bobby years ago by one of the cops, and up for his gang member friends called the Canos, and he was up in justice and a variety of other things, raping them and doing other when I'm kidding, I'm choking on something. I have allergies. I must know that these people are picking on a sick female. But anyway, I'll tell you, it's called survival of the she and the door by normal method, or actually will use unobtrusive and exits, such as, well, maybe your floor and you didn't. How would they do that? Well, it depends on what's under you. So let's say you're well, they can actually dig out stations, even if you're second floor. And what if you're above or someone else? Well, that's not a problem either, because then via a cellar, a basement, even up in forest. Oh, and by the way, one of the black Nazis here, including the bums that come visiting, such as the Pike Place Market, they don't work here. They to extort, and they'll pretend you owe for just a gang trait and able to heaven. They're just a bunch of mindless morons. Basically, they are zombies. They're Satanists. They took. I'm the only non-Satan. These people don't have chakras. They don't have found fecal on cookie packages. So you pretty much. How I found the fecal watching the item because wash
everything with wipes now, because when the Seattle one of the thick voice shit and people are hops on walk one day and hopefully is and slipping on their blood because they've waved their guns. People, that's a nicer option actually living the way I live. Believe me, I want to your brains. So, talk loudly and then someone's out come use get to make people and like the lines with cause of so that is up or the seller connecting and they pop up 8 tiles and or 4 and is that a foot? I think 4 feet. Oh, then one side or a and maybe asking the or so it explains a they're and spirit you out plainly dirty cops to find out what they were, and I believe signal of self was when I was trying to call for help, and their morons are signal blockers are technically illegal in the country, but anything illegal in the or for population actually would cane or drop get Seattle used to be not their signal literally they anywhere that means physically anywhere such as your apartment by sneaking cell phone. So even if they get your calls once in a while, they can have the very good. So do you manage the and by the way, one of the bad drinking market, the other dirty cop. You'll find that actually argue with me, arguing too, and my phone, and talk break way there set unite. Why? Well, these people want such as might not always be table. Oh, go sneak a movie because you're there. That's not usage. Trip. Don't back the come with a time and maybe it's both. So you, the another others just because the one money the pretty hour per money pretty per time extra too. We get like that corner wall she well she will get her coat Mason new sell the fully legally. And some episodes 10, as many. Out of a lot of times they don't need cost. You have so many people try to attack, and so I try to explain things. They seem to have didn't happened. I presented it in days, and the fact that I believe we fell with Satan. These introduced today. Let me tell you, ugly black Nazi shit included. You threatening me. You think it's legal for you to hurt me? It's actually legal for you to do them to you. And so, Nazi bitch, you are indentured if I am. And I could lead several of and it's legal for you to do as you do to me. And bums playing I want you with my woman. Yep. Your woman ugly McFucking shit. And you're going to end up, put it gently, and I'm going to even talk about the woman, but I'll tell you, any try to put me with her, it will be destroyed. Even if I have to drive a truck through the wall, a toilet, go to the bathroom, the carpet, maybe flood the kitchen, because there's a lot of slavery threats about cooking, and then something electrical, just to get somebody who knows what going to. I will bulldoze the premises. The cave, if it's high, I can jump the couch window and the chair from the 11th floor, and any personal precious objects will fly the window. And there could be somebody notice, and he's one with my woman, a lot on their plate. So the bomb will try to put slaves, some even if it's never pieces in the thing. And he's told, they told have her, she'll bring your, she'll bring your, she'll be for you. And the past very much in on what the way they'll do is to correct and get like dirty cops. Of a burn down might have some wrecks. Get rail where they're actually going to void out people exist if you have any property exist, and then you will even get you'll be sitting by the garbage can, your food stamp to the black Nazi chassis and some reject whore, and they might even have a white whore or bum or whatever bum match appear living apart. Is what the gang members got the that come here. They are security guards that come here from LaSalle Hotel. It's actually they actually would try to kick you out, and I've noticed a pattern. Admitted to that patterns I noticed, but I'm good at noticing a pattern. And so actually after you, so love to kick people out, tied into a lease, and if they can't coerce you to leave by terror, blackmailing you to leave, then have your throat cut, and maybe end up even the Seattle Police Department, Pike Place Market Authority, Preservation Development Authority, they're on not just the floor in first forced, but that anyway, I was told a gang member about a mechanism under the floor that will tip you and swivel, I can't remember, but I actually felt a swiveling condition device. under your floor. Now, just think how you could fall through your floor to a secret room, dug out, even under your on the ground. You might end up in this room. They, might hold you captive. And so they hold captive. So it's doubles. You have raw or something. No, you're not going to hold, like say they've undermined it. They call it mining. You're not going to hold it up if they've scored it and everything's been taken out underneath the carpet, the linoleum, it's going to fall right through the floor anyway. So the swiveling method, I actually felt the swiveling method in work play parts, and also the swiveling method. Rather, I felt the swiveling at list parts or hotel. And when Mary was talking about it, I was like, I didn't even do that. And games are channel. Now, what game into? And remember, Blackism with the plot to take over the U.S. and the Europe and the A and Britain. Well, they're toward Canada, but they're aiming at Britain and Ireland, and Europe, and it's very string and fall. And so beside the tourism, so these people are in water and food poisonings. There are 21 compounds that they like, and like their combination. So they're with the compounds that are dry clouds that they will use, or gases, including as a pesticide. They dry poison that even or gas. They will make you sick that way. Now, there's like, let's say you go out, and it's happened to me. Druggings. They're involved in druggings, and so say you leave your food unattended or your drink, and then you're, and then by 30 months, it's the old slang, like Shanghai. Ironically, by the LaSalle Hotel and several under connections, where self dark, but they used to glass. They have some of the streets, so the tile was so they could get their light stones. Leave, and so that's at the waterfront, just like the old LaSalle apartments are a dugout area leading from the LaSalle apartments to the waterfront that only know about. Talking to people in my janitors, and so anyway, so you've got people unrecognizable and recognizable before, during, and after death. Will have not you might be verified, but it's like they like to play the backward now, play on a paranormal level, talking mundane chakra, so uterine, these bums having you somewhere where you can't get out, but they've got video footage and all the exchanges you have had on surveillance. So under illegal surveillance, you might have. So they'll portray that as your boyfriends, and you pretend they're assistants, nurses. Oh, it's her nurse, yeah. And where you are, and so at the LaSalle, I moved out with this balance. Remember, the security guards kept threatening me to pay money to be a prostitute, and they would terrorize panic morons, including real cops, or strung together pretending they're real government. And then they would also explain, like, probably, I believe, through saying, no, it's her boy, to make sure we guard her so she doesn't get in trouble. So they lies about you. But anyway, and they're portraying that you're criminal. And one of the to force women anyway to marry these gross mongoloid black Nazis and have babies with the bastard. Of America, really, I haven't been for 13 years, since everybody's a retarded anyway. As far as I'm concerned, all of them. And then Ireland and, all like you. But anyway, so you've got these gross people in this country, Nazi retail, it's your boyfriend, the thing will live at her conditions. The Nazi scum, it will father and live. Although that's a way to get someone to control them by, quote, marrying, being in a falsified relationship. Black Nazis, they want to grab me and try to fight against England, Scotland, to be listening, and to Europe, which I won't. You don't want a gun hand black Nazi chanting, which is one of the Satanist morals. They seem to have these, and you chose, hey, ugly bitch, it's legal for you to do that to me, it's legal for me to do it to you. Whatever your core thinks I'm going to actually set this fireman come. Maybe, it'll be a little more the sink of the toilet. Or something's going to be done and I'll destroy wherever you try to put me. You are fecal. Spirit. Anyway, and so do the Bloods and Zetas. Here's how a black Nazi would sub you. So the black Nazi would get rid of people, and then they'd have levels as well as, and I don't want to say normal because it's not normal. Get like let white people. We need and so not a black Nazi. He's going to try to use, believe me, to appear as you, but if he can't manage, or he can't anyway, he's going to try to somebody who looks like you. They would get your identity. So don't, when I say, yeah, black people want the white people's, well, so let's say they Social Security check. You're not like, schemes running on. You're going to try to get a dead ringer, and so will the other gang members. So it's really is it for a white person or other, and they just find a looks like you. Obviously, he's not going to look a lot like me, the black certificate. Now, note you have the like I am. Storage, because where you're like male, then one thing leads to another, then they can start their fraudulent activities. A couple of guys told I was and would give one of them said, you're going to pretend it's my account online members such as blood. I do a lot of these psycho wire sure in their hiring with that, and they were to act and put a drag her, looks innocent, and meet Renee at the corner, give her and give her a petition. They're going to rape her and torture her. Time comes along, she's just in the gang, then they bust her. You can think of something in, they put some green herb. Let's say put a poison one in the one. You're never find the herb that you want because that all the other a certain time that is active. Gotta open the door, motherfucker, don't you? Bitch, let's. And no, there are no badges being thrust. Pussy man, bitch. Pussy man, bitch man. Pussy man. Come on, bitch. Actually, see, because they're pussies, so they'd rather stand behind your shower, even radiation into your shower, and clean and unsheathing their quote ritual swords that they've consecrated. It's, of course, nature and animal. Russians, Ukrainians, Semites. Of course, we have to remember was the ultimate favorite from. Those brains. Why don't you shoot? Holding butts, sitting in a. In prison. Have you had sex with the Ross guy yet? But guy Ross, he wears a Star of David crucifix. I quite like the necklace. And he's a medium stocky, a large frame. Looks not anything. I mean, there's not really. It's just a black, there's clean looking, that's about it. There's your next. Oh, they have. They have cute. They've progressed. Officer disturbingly young that he lasciviously wiggled at me. It made me sick. He looked like an alien movie. What the hell? I give him a look like, are you crazy? Think of was you look just like an alien. A lot of these methods, including, well, go war. But even if you put a head in there to combat them, versus so they'll say, let's say it's a bad spirit too. Sir Bobby's gay lover. You guys take. Come on, let's fess up. Interview with a cop. You know, it's sort of like interview with in my prayer. So, you know, I might let this go silent for a bit to go to the restroom. Time before I go to the restroom. Because you're not supposed to really pray. Now, our Father who art in trespass, deliver us from evil, for the kingdom, power, and the glory forever. Amen. Oh, one of them's talking about brothels. Don't know what I'm going to do, because I've told, and one of them's claimed away. Now, you might say, how do you hear these people? Of a smoking area. It's built like all, and is. Oh, by the way, I'd like to mention somebody who absolutely grew very vile and violent, and so I happen to know he is a gang member, and he's rather a famous who he's rocked or something for even and his burl. So I can't remember the spelling. It's Aher. When I started writing about what was happening to me at another location, floods, and remember, 5100 40th Avenue, there was on my friendship page of Facebook, because my face has been scratched by glass. I will say that these, like this Burl Bear, I started writing about gay activity. He went after me with a vile, and he's involved in a network of scum. I think he's a Zeta. Gang. Name that gang. ZE. So Americans say vile hatred. This, I don't have them on my list anymore. But there were a couple people. There was a guy, he had a picture of himself surfing, and he was, one of those cages, even though you're never there, so you don't get to see it. So-and-so's crazy. Either with an E or an A. Saying he's going to hire him as a contact. That's the dirty news about other crimes these people are involved. Oh, is permanently, and anyone like you and who likes you, who would mean if they wear the same shoes, which you have to watch when you curse the because they, where's my shoes? Move those curses to where they belong. And they're playing Mrs. Cano. So you've got snuff movies. And guess what? I'm going to film. I'm going to film back. Last night, a black guy, he came off of one of the buses, 5, and he was skanky. I need to watch him. Very bright. Then at the bus stop, and he looked like he was going to read about it. She said I was boots, thinking that the guy was going to hit him. After you actually, I've been displaced basically. So if you wear feminine slippery shoes, or you have slippery feminine, and a dress, it just makes it easier for some to rape you. So if you are worried for who's cast, because I don't believe these are human any longer. They are, and they are satanic, and they have they like to eat the etheric. Other beings eat the etheric body. Then to shift focus off. But a whore in the wall, she's making crease. And that ugly, smelly whore is against the door doing it, or trying to pretty smelly coward like to terrorize behind the wall that has a. And my premises and my curse shall whom without clever making like this suction noise, going on and on, chanting, yep, blah blah, you will ignore. Dirty, smelly hooker, you're gonna at the very least disappointing. Just playing Mark of, well, they're in on impersonation of officers and officers, and like the nurse's aide, they can follow you off of the job property, and that they could commit you or convict, along with their little pretending she can commit you with a driver who's diagnosing mental with health when you're sitting there just sitting there riding his car. And by the way, these people like different include real dirty police, and their real cars, or if they want to vehicles, because they can represent them as government, or including stripped down vehicles, or just disused vintage vehicles, what look like a medical vehicle from medevac from the mountains is what I'm. It had a picture rescue thing or something that I've never seen. It was red, which might have been a different country, ambulance or fire service that's about primer, what degrade primer, but that, and it was a van, like the sort of square still, or oblong rather, and a lot of the ambulances, including Medic 1, they are oblong. One's in the wall above, with a lot of vehicles, including have you do. They will coerce doing something to harm yourself by verbal, and also by paperwork, or that false, and that's presenting children, and not being in kiddie porn, but the missing kids involved in animal sacrifice. And there's a crime people can do where they can, like stealing of animals. He might apparently be walking the same dog, but in me, for 6 months, there could have been 20 same dog involved in the, and so it's 20 cocker spaniels, all black. Sometimes those dogs don't the same exact way that you expect when they're going to the bathroom, and you're like, something. Well, he's selling her in the satanic hospitals, or also for laboratory or fake laboratory. These gays like to culture. So that's kind of the institution and hiding things. So they're doppelgangers, as they call them. Double. Play, blah, blah, blah. And the black Nazis yapping on about marrying and yapping and yapping. What an ugly black want to marry someone that doesn't want to. Well, they want to, or any checks they have, and have, like, to get the ID. You could see in Scotland, Ireland, or where, and they then commit crimes. And I wouldn't even let him sit at the bus stop. I just made myself bigger and my these little groceries up on the bench so he could. It's like the mental hospital. The ambulance services by abduct you, and so there was a real and AMR, American Medical. So to hear even someone kidnapping bots, believe it or not, they're not always off-site. Some of them are meant, or I would go, or go back here, or to here. Hi, this is Lisa Guthrie. Is a zombie, and if you believe it or not, the playing about well, they're talking with zombies here. I didn't mention that yet, but there was well, they're involved in porn, they're involved in mutilation, such as FGM, hand removal, leg removal. So they are in on torture and satanic. They will eat and drink the air, but they also crave real bodies. Their spiritual belief system as well. But robbing the victim on extortion. There's a big in as well. Storage unit doesn't believe anymore is his, because someone allegedly been paying his and 69th and Roosevelt for the last 15 years. So that man is involved. The satanic bastard cop or fake cop. That's the expression the gang used. They pretend that you and that you're going to apologize. Like, oh, maybe they'll rape you. You apologized. Oh, we're going to that you apologize. We're going to have you be a slave. Which brings me to another plots. They are on one of their slaves. And Officer Bobby and also a cop that comes here. One of them knew he was almost arresting me because I got away with it. Bobby, he knew he could. See, I had called 911 and they were going to pull off one of those kidnapping apartment and night. One thing about Nazis yesterday was screaming. I wondered the gang members. This was 13 years ago. They could actually extort for everything. Oh, by the way, all of this plan, like including with the black Nazis and decimations of people, it's what's and making along that path anyway because they were endorsing all these perks. I told you, you're an other, you might not even be on the gym. I'm good. Did you believe? So now I tangent because there's also a head attack and pretended that I was Satan and I am the only one who had stock or soul and so for me not a Satanist, I take vows Satan. By the way, they would and I took spinal. It's time to work on some region of curse. And tell for again, you don't have any authority over me, and will never, ever, ever let any or have a safe moment with me as a slave. You will not be turned back. So say you'd carry you through a shop, apartment, a house. I'll knock it down. Let animals break everything you own, just like anything else. No matter what you say, when a horse playing, you will give us a kiss. I'll give you a kiss. Iron. Give you a kiss. You're the deadly black Nazis spread out. You're not. Oh, and the bum's playing Jengus. Have you? Get out, bitch! You're gonna be news, ugly fucker. You're gonna be on the news. So anyway, so Ellie's playing. You're gonna blah blah nose spray on a blanket. I'm gonna spray your nose spray. That's a word that they use or a phrase they use. It's legal to do it to me. It's legal for me to nose spray you on a blanket. You for me. They're safe mother. Just generation. So you have and a bum in the wall. By the way, he's saying I'm your boyfriend, Wolfman. And you made yourself a monkey. Constant threat when you're going to do this. You're all monkeys to me. You're lesser too. And I wouldn't have shit like as a boy, for ugly. And you're inferior. You are inferior. Favorites. And America covered up for your radiation. They did for that whole baby. Way you're insane. Cover that. You're insane. So they'll give you a diagnosis. And Guthrie was named in an anti-harassment order, and so you've got Seattle Police Department also out in the wall with people who I had her orders. The bomb is playing all. Not going to tell me what the fuck to do. The day Black decide he's telling his country and the tank play Tim and gets all of you motherfuckers because they fucking are already. Obama. Turn around. This is what is I forgot the me. Black Nazis, Officer Bob Stick. Well, anyway, and Officer Bob from the West Precinct. So anyhow, after then they're also anything to that would behoove. They just did a psychic attack, by the way. They will then claim a friend picking you up, and so you have two. A woman and a man pushing a chair. The bastards gets up and then puts you in the whatever, and you're wheeled off. And the thing is to shoot the and then drive off with it. in some sort of white contend is government, big government conspiracy. And Nazis can't be with Nazis. Why? Because the white Nazis are what buy food if they're some money, like some trash things on the street, tiered quarters. Elizabeth Gregory home. So I see it's kind of ironic who had committed the crime against on rape. And so remember the police department, they're in on raping. Now, why would they add water or you as you're showering? They think they're going to control you and get energy. So Officer Bob or one of their one or more public security guards, including is the Ross guy still. So the plan is bringing me and always you don't hack it. Let's say the guard for the federal building is following. You get the fucker. They like the library also no good. You might say I get in trouble for telling gang members. People talk about the same plots and like same members. So the gang sometimes put on each other too, which is kind of funny. And the more that happens, the better. In fact, I love all the days and 8 Street Kings total under for 13 years, including I don't care what happens. I did. I just didn't see a damn thing around first. If you're a blood, data, and Asian Street people are trying to kidnap you, I might not. Hope Armageddon hits you in the face, and I hope you're actually, you wanted gang members, I hope you're all killed off by gang members. Anybody's a gang member. Priest, you're cursed, all bloods, and I'm not going to be a witch. It's like, Zeta Asian Street or who's with. Ha 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 ha. So anyway, one of the said Elizabeth Gregory, I recently got a nice leather coat, and she's a black-haired person. She looks like like an old man, like an old man or a mushroom or something. She actually thought she'd put on this area in a trailer. And she's pretty tough. She's sighed a lot. But I even made the remark to her, Randy, going to want you to do something for you, except I recognized her voice. She was in the janitor room. Sandowitz of they're calling Rippus. They're playing Rippus. Remember, some of them are ever here legally, but they will portray that it's a 911 call. One calls might even be and not even on record. And maybe so, like even if the victim called, like 911 on Officer B when he was trying to, when he illegally to these. I should look up the names. And I the thing that I Libra telling their false record victim her themselves. So let's Office Bobby's skill saw or hacksaw. Well, bitch bag. Well, guess what? Whatever big food to me is go for do shit, and you're not actually for horror. And the only fun shit ain't gonna control you. Like if you just ain't enough to wear shit. Like yesterday, they were saying, if we cut you, you'll be more subordinate. If we beat you, you'll be subordinate. This, no, you're gonna get a mean person. I'm gonna have you shut teeth, and I'm gonna walk over your brain. I'm gonna fucking walk over your brains. Now, the whole torture victim, and then they'll have the devil. And by the way, the black Nazi shit asses mentioned a rabid disagreement, and their white U.S. program by Nazis and other years and old heroin or heroin welfare cap 1,500 3 leaves and the first to tell me what to do. I like to respond to these faced men who read about my luggage, which he could room and sat down at the stop crowded because I've dropped all political correctness because we are not dealing with humans, and the bums talking about dinner is either eating meat or also he's playing. Oh, shine up that turd, get the shellac line. Jason, somebody's mentioning Jason. So that's Randy Whittier's boyfriend. He's a retarded, and she'll even call him retarded. Bus trip, yappity yap. And by the way, so I don't have any relationships at all with the zombies. And aside from the fact I don't accept black Nazis and other shitbags telling me what to do, basically one color me on a daily basis. And yesterday I made a post yesterday evening, about some black Nazi whores at Elizabeth Gregory home threatening me for my storage. And there's a bum, it's one of the black Nazi bastards, he's threatening me about a gallon. And what does the bitch mean? He means gallons of blood. Describe Jason. So, 6. Randy had lustrous hair. It was a inch, by the way. Oh, and they've just taken more chakra from the back, and they're playing Ritual that chops up every black Nazi, every place, every time. Eradicates and destroys all of your ancestors. Chest attack. You're not going to. It's legal for me to be harmed by you. It's legal for me to harm you. So Kathy Cox, by the way, was pretending she couldn't act, and she's playing Vince as a gun that shoots every black Nazi every time, every nothing you do, retarded half-black children, and anyone who likes them and is like them shall be eradicated. You are rats of the. In fact, rats have precedence. You're garbage. And the plane, and they're on the ESP network. So I want, and I'm going to knock. I will use it on you. And now here's what the cops did. So the drug and alcohol. They're playing Soviet, and it's just it did a head attack, chops up every black Nazi. Little like alterations where they're trying to make you into a zombie. Chops up every black Nazi every time period, and eradicates and erases all of you, and eradicates all your ancestors permanently, and puts them in torture, just like you did to my. Say now, if you believe it, the ugly Satanist bastards actually got into the spirit world, and they tortured innocent beings and made them, into zombies. Oh, and by the way, usually around the time when there are some either the sound of a vacuum to obscure noises, that they're so especially in a day and maybe I might like with it. Probably like whatever is most convenient. When you take a weapon from someone, injure ill. It's not to take and around get shot. And these days I'm crazy. Teenagers torture produce little crazy. willing to take that risk, walk off their folks, will gut your hand. And very loud and tell everybody who's got a gun. Got a gun. She does. Does Lily Cox have a gun that brings Aurora DEC? Yes, she does. And 30 cops probably helped get it. Officer and the tri-court creep, fat ass that looked like he looks like a bag of chicken excrement. And fly, they're in the gang. So back, Mary. Not. It could be Mary from Place Apartments. Her mother Nell lives there in one of the. By the way, those cottages have those nice pictures, rivals of Bloods and Zetas. There, come on, you want gangs? Why would you have Bloods, Zetas, and Asian Streets? Their rivals should be in these places. Come on, it's only fair. So nice big picture. Those big picture windows, stick in them. They can be lifted out. Watch that. You want to watch your security gang members of Bloods, Zetas, and Asian gang. Polynesian playing lead you. So that's the fast tri-court cop or one of their bum. Oh, so 3 drills, but they are. There's a whore plague just paranoid on welfare. She likes a lot involved, popping out one woman. She's got daughters. That's one of them. Maybe she has one. If that's the person, it's like Alcatraz, an Alcatraz personality. A couple of them, they look like characters from old black and white movies. You put it on yourself and show you your sweet little ancestry. It's not going to be good. One of these ancestors convert probably their ancestor devils. They're playing dream. So you're going to put some curses on the bathroom. So there's this Alcatraz personality, and by the way, there's another plane where they're talking through ESP, and it's 8-4. So it's in murder slang. And, well, she's already been salted, no longer pretty. And they're talking about even order me with glassware. Go. And you might say, oh, this is so. Contacted 10,000 people in the area. What do you think? Are you that naive? You're the one who's paranoid or crazy. Like, Burl Bear, push a button and contact 10,000. You say that, and why do I mention? I believe he's a gang member, a Zeta, and that you can contact people these days via computer. Did you know that? Played putt to you that destroys every black, every place, every time period. You try to come up to me, shit face, especially any black men. I'm gonna fucking record you, and you nothing but scum, and I have no business with it. Fuck you. And that's just, and I don't have any business with any of your other white box. They're playing For a Moment I Was Beautiful, and I left up so everybody see your business. When you fucking you're bright and shiny like God, it means you're being lit up for everyone to see your business. You're not. When there's a moron, they just took and someone in a car. So basically, what play prostitute with me, and I'm going to kick the crap out of them. And I didn't know that was sex, but apparently it is. So I'm going to kick their faces in
And guess what? I have the legal right to, and if you say you're threatening, is it normal to have people on the wall talking to you? And so now they're talking to me via a crawl space. Sex from me, which is I vault the fucking car off a fucking cliff, people if I have to. I'm worth it. There is cruddy, dirty, smell, fucking all stinky, ugly, shitty ass zombies, and I will cause wrecks and everything else, and I will pound any man flat that thinks he's going to rape me. That's my legal right. And I can't wait to drive it into traffic. Are you kidding me? That'll be a treat. They played Got a Gun. Well, I'm going to shoot them instead. Threatening me with a gun right before the dirty cop tried to have me arrested. And he looks like a sack of get into automobiles or beaten. Well, the thing is, before that it had from their apartments, just like they do, you know, like above, thought it was an apartment building. I'm playing blah, not gonna make bargains with me, you fucking bitch thing. So you owe me, you ugly fucking shit ass. Bargains, a rapist, and 200 people die. All about me. I'm the one to. I don't give a fuck. Of zombies. They're playing indentures up every black Nazi permanently for even thinking it, you fucking shit ass bitch. They went grand. Now I've got to work on my cursing. So you're here, instead of just talking to people on the wall and the whore's playing indenturing you, chops up every fucking time. Burn them in hell. Prison. Oh, and whore's playing Got Gun. That's going to be used on your T-brain if you should present it to me. And see, the thing is, if you're fumbling, is it really that convenient to take their gun and call 911? What would you do? So you take the thing is, if you take someone else's gun, you don't have to carry. So if someone sends a weapon on you, so there was a line before we had a shooting, and he's a long-haired, he's tall with a kind of a small head, and he's probably in his 60s. You never know with meth heads, because they can look like they're playing bye to 911. That's what the black Nazi shit scum is saying. So remember, he already. Oh, and he said one of them said they're getting half of the group. But anyway, and he said, I mean, he said, I've got a gun, and I said, what? Use it on you. In a bored voice. I went up to the recovery cafe, even though I am not an alcoholic or a drug addict. Prostitute. They tried to, and they've promoted that online. I've ever been an alcoholic or a drug addict 6 years. And my bastard, yeah, he used that stuff. Gun on me. The thing is, in front of the police department, hoping they'd see it on video camera. The cops are talking about, and they're talking about 911. Beautiful. And they just tore cheddar trying to rule with them. Chops up butt with Officer Bobby, Officer Gay Butt. Oh, and by the way, I'd like to tell you, police officers, another one, and after you see my face, that means never shut up again. Bitch. Anyway, so the officer to impregnate people when they're asleep, do other tortures besides just raping them. And her mother lives behind. She's involved in a missing clitoris, and she threatened me with the clitoris, the clitoridectomy. And by the way, some of these in the either so a couple of these whores, this is a plot, and a lot of these people I could just do choke. They're nothing. So anyway, they want to rape you with AIDS or herpes, so they'll purposely have these friends try to rape you. So these apartments, third or fourth and second floor. Titus. And by the way, on everything. He likes to see. And Officer Gay Butt's friend, one of the AIDS, and one reason you end up with herpes. Maybe it's because I don't know about the transmission and how long the virus would stay alive in like a lip oyster or something. These people are in on the purpose back shock and made a decree. Chops up every black Nazi, no matter what the fuck with the rest of me. And I'm going to eat oral, like a cannibal would. Consumes you. There's some. The day the horrors was threatening, or yesterday, it's hard to. It's like a horrors was threatening me with abortions, and and horrors playing Green Eyes, and they just took do. And I'm trying to. So you want me to do these curses of black? 40 years, the U.S. 30 let these things flourish. And they got the world, and if you don't round the buggers up with the rest of the shit, and remember they're in it, the tear gas on them, that's what one of the actually threatened to. Officer Bobby gave it to him from the West Precinct. Precinct, by the way, I should put a little link to advertising of Seattle, and at about 9th and Virginia, and not too far from Mary. They tried to take my. I'm going to start enforcing more rights of black. And don't just want yours, and so do the other gang members. So we need to catch up on these like 4 or 5. No, I didn't. And the deadly 4 or 5 I've seen. Hispanics. Hispanic Nazis, and let's see, Asian Nazis, Native American, playing 11 chocolate, and they want to eradicate the West and others. And then you've got Polynesian, Melanesian, and Micronesian, and mix up some white and call it Italy. Cats and are repulsive, just bore maggots of their own, or had maggots, obviously inseminated, and the thing he chose as a or, I don't know which one's worse, actually, gave birth to his maggots. Parasites. Spawning of parasites. English. And so when they mention, like, Europe, or if they mention them, they're because why would an ignorant dog turd black Nazi who sits stuck to his couch all day, or, continuously when he's threatening white people? You put it together. Why would he talk about whites? Why would he talk about France? And then the same person has talked about, bombs, shooting people. So and any other country would pray. Well, here's what I want you to do. I want you to cut off all your contact with you in the works. Just know that zombie, and she don't care if she's over there. You leave her alone, there's nothing left. 4 or 5. Everyone, it's been Hispanic Nazis, black Nazis. It's been black Nazis. So bloods, but not as many as you would think. There have been mostly whites. There have been a couple Jews. Psychotic. I don't know what the hell they are. So you've got a black guy who thinks he's a Messianic Jew. He never was a Jew to become a Messianic Jew. He's just probably put on the necklace and read a few books. And then you've got by the way, white, and some of my ethnicity includes Jews. It's a religion. Bloodline. Listener. I looked it up. They're people from game. It's a game. Waiting a long time. Give me toilet ready for me to. I can throw it in the tub. Level of we're first talk call and rape, and the whole game last night, door a little and feed her and give her the or the. I'd like to see everyone round up in their beds. You'll read it on viral. Old man dries up and black Nazi gets arrested. Nobody contacted or in slavery ring. His uncle, maybe that's not, but they threatened me with their uncle. So apparently the black uncle dried up and no one was around to hear. And no one knew that he was alone in his apartment. Won't that be a nice article? Am I threatening anyone? Oh no, just won't answer the call. But that, if you think your relative is going to be taken by us about it. They're playing indentured, so they just, well, quite a few in the neighborhood, and including businesses down the road like dancing. There was a palmistry place closed for rent. It's been years. They threatened, that's the street. They've threatened me for restaurants to open up some whatever. And press. Here comes the fire department's notice. Chairs out the window. It's got big. The chairs would go out very easily. They're playing slave, so you're just going to have a disaster. So one of the morons actually dared play ring, and then someone. So what they're all with their own relatives, what they're telling me is doing this with their own relatives, like their elders popped into nursing homes, and their needs, so that these people trying to get slavery for them see their relatives ever again, including their own mothers. Should settle the slave angle, so you just report away, all CPS, I like to remind you, walk around with the kids, the project in itself, but you do like in public that, or even in private, to have me as a slave. So the names that need to be on video, this link. Wouldn't that be a sweet thing to do? And the children, so you really get them in trouble. You get them arrested, committed to lose their kids. You don't even have. A lot of these bastards, you can tape them walking around Green Lake by the pushing strollers, walking around kids. They're threatening people, and or things like he plans to take people's backpack. And poor Jeff, just nice otherwise. I mean, if you can't help it and you're praying, it's, oh gosh, what if you're already prayers? Every energy up, there's a, and they just head, the making curses, taking care of you. So so what you do, because they like to play the opposite of what they, like I told you, the word hug can be a code for capturing you and restraining you. Admiring you, that means they're going to beat you up or rape you or something. If you're in another country and you, strangely, they might even be threatening you in code. Be cursing you or trying to hit you. Somebody just cracked back. They're playing, you're going to get your coat. And just because you sat years on welfare, you to me that you're going to be in charge. You're a bunch of shit. You're just parasites. Crack hoe. Your girl wants you. Gross, ugly man. You're not even a make about it. You and hunch lifetime there is. Ugly fuckers. Playing harassment. Go to. You notice demonic worshippers and Satan worshippers. There's something that comes up. They believe contracts and legality, and their legal is based on lies and truth. So it's the profane, just like the American, like Officer Bobby and the, shitty cops and cops. I get up and, I'll do my exercises, muttering. Keep this on because I want you to be threats, how dangerous. There's somebody might not leave. So remember, you could have these people done away with because they could be bringing in William to chop up every black knot. Shut the fuck up, you whore. You're a fucking stinky. You're not magic. Remember, they don't even have their own magic. It's just they've stolen, and Satan gave them stolen pencil. A lot of it, what they've stolen me also is monetary. Not just from illegal surveillance and like ID or information or there's a whore, but the will waste. Every time you get a pencil, pad, storage, you have to carry everything. Waste. I do have to because of was accompanying me with a security guard that has guns. It's probably a black knot on. And he'll scream rape as robbing these days in America. So that's what I'm seeing. It's a true statement. I've seen scream race on guns. So she said, bring in William. So it's probably machine assault. I just wanted to tell you that it sounded like from, from a couple different things that I heard, it sounded like he could... Oh, more about that? I've told you that people have threatened slavery here lately. I heard someone say, by the way, you're expected, and then it sounded like someone not going to slavery for anybody on them. And so if, you might ring for help.
Okay, let me give it all.
Hi, this is Guthrie at one of the never recognized, and it's coming from side apartments, and there are at least 2 dirty cops here still and a couple security guards. One was from Ross. One was, and I've got camping equipment. I have to remember to take it in the bathroom so it's not used against me. I can't transport it on the bus. Afraid to take it to the storage now. Send my storage, and that's at 69th and Roosevelt. I smelled urine, like the kind of people that are, as I've expressed, they're involved with the dirty cops and there were a couple officers here, Seattle Police Department, that are corrupt, and they were in the janitor's room. Circumcision. If you circumcise me, I'm going to cut your penis as well. Whatever you threaten to do to me, I can do to you. Creep Nazis, and they join with people like the corrupt members of the police department, and they can, and there's a bum playing wash your mouth, blah, 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 yeah, when they come in. You're not going to do anything. I'll have you shot by ATF.
shot ATM. There are always stinky pores here that sit in the wall, and it wraps around the sink area. They're actually not cops that don't have security guards here. We do. And so the whores and bums always seem to think they can get slaves. So the whores and bums always try to get slaves. Know this. Now, I think I'm going to end the broadcast. It's very long, but I want the information to get out there. So I'm going to review. It did face on